discussion in this manner. First, let me ask all of you 3 questions. Has anyone ever been to Northeast? You can raise your hands.
Anybody?
Has anybody gone to Northeast, from here? You
One.
2, 3. Okay. You also 4?
Yeah.
Okay. 5. So few of you have gone to 6. And how many of you know the number of states? I mean, these are basic questions. I'm not undermining your 7, huh? You are all definitely wrong. There are 8 states. Sikkim has been added now, but you are not actually wrong, because initially we were called the 7 sisters. The third question is, how many of you can name the capitals of the state capitals of the 8 states in Northeast? We have a good number of people with good general knowledge, so we can start with that. But I see some of you who have not been to Northeast. Number 1, number 2, maybe you've heard of it, but like many scholars put it, Nagaland, the Northeast is on the map of India, but is off the mind of Indians. That is something which has been the refrain in the national media as of now. I will begin with one story. In the month of, a lot of things happened. First, initially the CRPF were suffering a lot of casualties in Dandewada and all those areas. Now, when the Naga Reserve Battalion went, and when they started the operation, they could successfully finish a lot of the camps of the Maoists. They had gone, captured, they have actually also, there were a lot of casualties on the side of the Maoists. A lot of people had died. And initially, there were a lot of outcry in Delhi and even Andhra Pradesh, Hyderabad and all, and West Bengal by activists of the PUCL and left-leaning parties against the IRB Nagaland for going there. Why? Number 1, the operation was not just a simple operation. Nagas are actually, by culture, we are headhunters. We were warriors before Christianity came, and then before we became part of the Indian Union. So from rebels, when the Indian independence, when India got independence, Nagas decided not to go with India. So they rebelled. So from headhunters, they became rebels. And from rebels today, when the IRB was ended, they were part of the Indian paramilitary to suppress an insurgency movement or a Maoist movement in central India, Chhattisgarh. Because we were headhunters, these guys, when they killed, the map is there. I'll come back to that. When they went to the operation, when they shot a Maoist, a Naxalite, they not only killed, but they went with what we call the dao. It's a machete. It's like your kukri. So they went, and because I think instinct, the officers could not control the Jawans. They went and chopped off their ears and then chopped off their head, and they left it there. They took the earlobes, and they went back. So the amount of barbarity exhibited in the operation had put fear in the minds of the Maoists. And the operations were successful. When the Naga battalion went, and wherever they went, either they would run away for fear that they will not only be defeated in the, because Maoists indulge only in guerrilla fighting. It's not a proper conventional war. They were scared because of the ferocity of the Indian Reserve Battalion from Nagaland. And in the the 1 year that they stayed there, they could achieve considerable, remarkable success in containing the Naxalites. And therefore, Chief Minister Raman Singh had wanted them back, but because that time under the UPA government, the Ministry of Home Affairs decided that we will not, because I think the left was also part of the this thing, alliance that time. They decided that we will not, we'll send the IRB Naga battalion to Nagaland. So we'll not allow them to start, to operate in Chhattisgarh. Since then, the IRB has not gone there. So from rebels, from headhunters, the whole concept or stereotyping has changed. Now they are defenders of the nation, defenders of the country. Why I say this, because again, before I get into the details, there was a friend of mine in college in Kohima. He was a student leader and my leader in fact, and he joined the Indian Army. When he joined the Indian Army, there is a regiment called the Naga regiment in the Indian Army. Most of you may know, may not know. During the Kargil war, he was a captain in the army. So during the Kargil war in the Dras sector, I think, or there is one sector there, he went up barefooted and captured that post occupied by the Pakistani forces here in Jammu Kashmir. Kargil war. So at that time, sorry, I think Tiger Hill, I think. During that time, of course, while capturing, he was also shot dead. So he died a martyr and he got the second highest gallantry award. Now, it was a sad moment for all of us. However, because of his bravery, that sector, there is a hill which is now called the Naga Hill. So I'm very proud that there is a Naga Hill in Jammu Kashmir. Much is not known about the northeastern region. We are looked at as, the region is looked at as a hotbed of insurgency, militancy. In fact, those who are from Jammu Kashmir would know about the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. It was introduced in 1958 to tackle, but if you look at the geography, Northeast is ahead of Bangladesh. But we have the same time, uniform time zone in the whole of the country. There's been a demand in Assam by the Assamese government for a uniform, for a separate time zone for Northeast and India. So I want to introduce you from a different perspective, not statistics, but from a perspective where you can look at that region as a part of India, but left. So, in a way,
We need it on our passport.
no, you'll have a separate, you'll have to apply from our resident commissioner, Nagaland House, Delhi, or Nagaland House, Kolkata, if you want to come to Nagaland. Yeah. So now,
All the three states you have to take separately.
separately from the respective houses in Guwahati, Kolkata and Delhi. So you need a visa to enter. It is on arrival. You can apply online now. No visa required for Guwahati. So I mean, some of these are like facts which probably we are not aware. But you know, the most surprising thing is people know about the Naxalites, people know about the border issues here in Jammu Kashmir, but in the Northeast, you will be shocked to know that according to Government of India's own MHA report, there are more than 100 insurgents/militant groups in the region. More than 100.
100 different groups.
Groups. Some insurgent groups may have armed cadres of around 50, but the strongest, like the NSCN, the National Socialist Council of Nagaland, mother of all the, the groups in the Northeast, and Alpha, which is from Assam, and UNLF and PLA from Manipur. They do all this. They will train them in the province of Yunnan, which is the Kunming city and all that, which is bordering Myanmar. There in the border there is a place which is supported by Chinese army, where they sell all the denotified weapons. So small arms trade is a big business. Your, 9mm, 3.2 and then blocks. You get AK-47s and all that, and the weapons and ammunition. So it's a big business. But that is not the only business. You go to Chandigarh and you talk to the people there and you see who is taking heroin or not. Where does it come from? It is coming from Myanmar. There is a railway station in Dimapur. So that railway station brings it to people in Chandigarh. Actually, a lot of business is going on. Till the bilateral trade agreement was signed between India and Myanmar, the unofficial trade which was happening was to the tune of 2,000 crores per annum of heroin and small arms in a small town called More. And if you go to More, you will find, if you know history of Myanmar, after they got independence, they expelled a lot of Indians.
Central India, North India to visit these areas freely. Why to have this permit now?
I totally agree with you. Nobody in Nagaland, Mizoram, Arunachal wants this permit. We want this permit to go. In fact, if you had been following the news in Manipur, just last year, this year, January I think, 8 people died because they were fighting against lifting of the inner line permit. I mean, not lifting, the majority community in Manipur wanted inner line permit to be introduced in Manipur. But the other communities, the tribal communities, they opposed it. So there was a fight. So 8 people from the tribal communities died. So this issue is still going on. And the Manipur cabinet sent it to the MHA. MHA is saying that this ILP need not be introduced in Manipur. Whereas in Nagaland and in Mizoram, we can easily lift it. But this is not within the purview of the state. This has to be taken, the decision has to be taken by the center. Otherwise, we don't want it. For instance, for Indian citizens, you will need the ILP to enter these states. But for a foreigner, they don't get what is called the, they'll get a visa to come to India. But while getting the visa, if they want to visit these 3 states, they'll have to apply for what is called the reserved area permit, or restricted area permit. So restricted area permits were lifted in several districts. Because again, Government of India was of the opinion that many of the foreigners came in the past to create dissent, to actually support the insurgents and provide intelligence. But the positive is that in Mizoram, in a place called Vairingte, near Aizawl, Aizawl is the capital of Mizoram, there is this insurgency training center, anti-insurgency training center, which is established by Government of India, where armies of Israel, the US Army, they've all come and conducted joint exercises. In a way, this low intensity warfare has been looked at by the security agencies also in India, establishment in India, as a training ground. Because the fact is that most of the soldiers are trained in, but they are not, but they're not put in the practical environment where, they are used to warfare and all that. So anyway, these are some of the issues.
Sir, has there been a change of policy vis-a-vis NSC and IM when BJP government took over at center? Or it's continuing the policies of UPA? Or there has been some shift? Please explain.
That's a good question. There has been definitely a paradigm shift. Why this happened is because, why I say this is because before the UPA government were just negotiating because the Congress government was interested in safeguarding the Congress ministries in the states affected by NSC and IM. Manipur, Arunachal, Assam and Nagaland. But Nagaland of course no. The 3 states, because Nagas are in these 3 states as well. They are not only in Nagaland state. So the NSC and IM's presence is from all these states. In fact, the NSC and IM Prime Minister or the General Secretary as they call it, the leader, is from Ukhrul district in Manipur.
Portfolio, so definitely an inspiration for young participants like me. My question was with the shift in the government in the center, and obviously this is outsider's perspective. We have read that a lot of budgetary allocations are given to Northeast, and more focus is on asset creation, infrastructure creation. So will it really help in reducing the lag time which you explained, that to reach Indian Army now in the current it takes 2 weeks. So will this asset creations help to reduce that time and increase reachability of this military forces?
I have a counter question over that. So basically there was like media report that while Indian government does, the Indian army is like discouraging the proposal to build the road up to the Arunachal Pradesh border, which is like
Who is discouraging? Who is discouraging?
Indian army is having a counterpoint, which like the news appeared in the media that if you are going to create a road, then Chinese will have the far more access towards us because they have a road which is basically coming to their border. And if we are going to build our road, and if in a way we are not able to protect that road, then they will enter the whole of area.
I'll answer. This is very interesting question because if you look at the history of the region, after the Second World War, when Japanese attacked, and then there was an understanding that we have to build infrastructure in this region. Unless we do that, we are not able to transport our army, let us say. That thinking has been there ever since, but the implementation has been very slow. In fact, in the last UPA government, 2 mountain divisions were added in Rangapar, which is in Dimapur. So a mountain division and 2 mountain divisions. So that's like huge. Whereas if you look at China, they have built a railroad from Beijing to Tibet, Lhasa.
The promotion and the agriculture.
I'll also take this.
Since I was listening to you, and I can see that people from our state, I'm from Jammu and Kashmir, whatever you were saying, we were just relating it so close to us, like it's happening almost same, maybe slight differences are there. I don't know, I would just like to say here that it would be a nice opportunity that if we have such thoughtful minds coming from Northeast to Jammu Kashmir, we would love to host them, a group of 10 to 15 people, and same people from our state, from Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh, visiting Northeast and understanding, because there are so many things which we can learn from each other.
I think let us pass a resolution here entrusting RMB to organize that. What do you say, Ravi? Yeah.
Like industry and agriculture.
I'll put it under the larger umbrella of Loki's policy again, because the only land link that India has with Southeast Asia is the northeastern region. So under Loki's policy, it was envisaged that this market in Southeast Asia, which was
I can see everybody was listening with so much passion, and as Amit also pointed out, maybe many people were, they were trying to relate the situation as well. Because yesterday we had several sessions. We had a session understanding Jammu and Kashmir, and when you were speaking about Northeast, one, we got to know about Northeast as a part of the country, and as well as how internal threats were tackled there. So thank you so much for just as a token of thanks to you on behalf of everybody here, we would like to give you a small token. Vasu, shall I invite you to?